Votes, shall we, gentlemen? Patrick Mahomes' 14 career playoff wins in his first 7 seasons. My goodness, having passed Tom Brady for the most in a player's first 7 seasons since 1950. With the Chiefs' win over the Ravens, Mahomes now has more AFC titles than Brady in his first 7 seasons. And with another Super Bowl win, he will tie Brady, who won 3 Lombardi trophies in his first 7 seasons. All right, greatness with Tom, we're witnessing it again. Shannon, tell me this. Would you rather have Brady or Mahomes for a 1-game win or go home situation?
I'm taking my homeboy because he can do everything Brady can do and more because of his legs, his ability. We've seen it time and time again. We saw him do great runs against the Texans when they were down 24-0. We saw him against the Tennessee Titans go down. We saw him last year in the Super Bowl take off on a bum ankle against the Philadelphia Eagles and pick up a key first down. And we saw him yesterday time and time again get himself out of harm's way. The way he can change arm angles, the way he can throw the ball, roll left, roll right, throw the ball with accuracy, and throw the ball over the top of your head. We're talking about the first 7 seasons. The guy has 70 touchdowns in front of Brady and almost 7,000 yards from where Brady was at the same point in their careers. Give me Pat, my homeboy.
Yeah, I wanted to make this like a good argument and go the opposite way, and I know you guys are the stars, so normally if y'all both on one thing, I go on the other thing, but I ain't finna sit up here and lie. I'm taking Mahomes as well. When you think about all that this dude has done since he became the starter. In his first year, he had over 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns. And when a player starts like that, sometimes you often wonder, okay, how is he going to improve his game? What is he going to add that could be better than what we saw initially? Here is what he added. On the last play to Marquez Valdez-Scantling, I think it's a microcosm of how he's evolved. Rashee Rice, who's become his #1 wideout, was doubled.
Take it
Travis Kelce blocked, released late, and he was going to be the check down guy. The person who was open was MVS. Now, we all remember that Monday Night Football game against the Philadelphia Eagles. MVS is behind the entire defense. Mahomes basically hands him the football, and MVS drops it. After the game, they asked Patrick Mahomes about that play, and he says, I could have thrown it a little shorter to make it an easier catch. Now, everybody who's ever watched football know good and dang well Patrick Mahomes didn't have to change the way that he threw that football, but he took accountability. He said, I have to be better, and he's continued to go back to MVS. So on that play, instead of forcing it to Rashee Rice, instead of taking the check down to Travis Kelce, you go back to last week, 2 big throws to MVS. He goes to him in that moment, throws to MVS. He goes to him in that moment because he's empowered MVS to be more than he was early on in the season. It's not just about what you can do with your talent, it's how you can make others around you better. That's what leaders do. That's what the great ones do. Tom Brady had it, Patrick Mahomes now has it. But on top of that, he has the arm talent and can do things with his legs that Tom Brady could never do. In a winner-take-all game, I'm taking Patrick Mahomes.
Well, I ain't stupid. I'm going to listen to the 2 Super Bowl champions I got on the show doing an admirable job of filling in for my tired ass. Let me be very, very clear right now. Let me be very clear right now. The answer to this question is Patrick Mahomes. And I say that with no hesitation whatsoever, but also with profound respect for the greatness of Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, we looked at, the Roger Staubachs of the world and the Bart Starrs of the world, and then Joe Montana came along, and we looked at the Joe Montanas of the world, and then Tom Brady came along, and then now we've looked at Tom Brady and with the greatness that he exhibited for over 22+ years, and we see a guy in Patrick Mahomes. And by the way, let's look at Patrick Mahomes for what it is. When Tom Brady was winning those Super Bowls early, as much as a welcomed addition he was to the squad, and Bill Belichick made that transition from Drew Bledsoe to Tom Brady. The New England Patriots defense at the early turn of the century was what was making things happen in a lot of people's eyes. That's what they were saying. And Tom Brady didn't hurt you. He certainly assisted tremendously, so I might add. But the defense was what they stood on, okay? And then later on, you saw his greatness just elevate more and more and more. In the case of Patrick Mahomes, we've been seeing that greatness from day one. From the moment he became the starting quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs, 6 straight trips to the AFC title game, 3 Super Bowl trips, 2 Super Bowl titles.
Coach.
What are you going to say?
All right. How many Super Bowl rings does Patrick Mahomes have?
Well, can I?
Two? Wait, no. You had your time.
No, I didn't actually. You actually jumped in. You actually jumped in on me.
It was going too long. How many?
Oh, so you're the Tom Brady voice.
How many rings does Tom Brady have?
7.
Okay.
Can I answer that question?
Are you guys serious
Hold on,
right
Ryan.
now?
Let me get her.
You got it.
Do you know, Molly?
This is disrespectful
You know,
to Tom.
Molly, do you know that Patrick Mahomes hasn't even been in the league long enough to capture the Super Bowl titles that Tom? If Patrick Mahomes had won a Super Bowl every single year, he
still wouldn't have enough right now.
He still wouldn't have enough.
But you're already going to crown him. You're all about resume
because
longevity of work.
Well, again, over the first 6 years of his career, one could argue that the resume is more illustrious when you go 6 straight trips to the AFC title game, when you've won 2 Super Bowls already, when the Super Bowl that you lost was because you were running for your life because you had no offensive linemen, and then, oh, by the way, now you're in your 4th Super Bowl in 5 years, potentially about to win your 3rd Super Bowl. Those are things resume-wise
He had
that are
a
comparable.
Hall of Fame career after turning 30. He had 4 Super Bowls. You know what this kind of reminds me of? How you forgot about Beyonce
Patrick Mahomes is not even 30.
After you went to the Taylor Swift concert.
I never forgot about Beyonce.
Yeah, you forgot about Beyonce.
I never forgot about
and
Beyonce.
you turned into a Swiftie.
What
have you done for me lately?
Molly, here's the difference in your arguments.
Disrespecting Tom.
You're asking us about one football game. You're not asking us about a resume. You're not saying who has been the GOAT throughout their career. What you're asking us is, who do we think is best suited that no matter what the skilled players are around him, who is playing defense on his team, the guy I would take to win me a game is Patrick Mahomes. Because if you look at it, who has more arm talent? Patrick Mahomes. Who is more athletic? Patrick Mahomes. Who has shown that they can be clutch? Patrick Mahomes.
If you haven't seen Tom come back in a Super Bowl,
yes.
Remember the epic
Did you not watch Patrick Mahomes just come back last year? Did you not watch Patrick Mahomes just come back last year?
Was that better than the Brady comeback in Atlanta?
We see, we're not talking about better. We're not talking about better. You asked one game.
Yep.
I said, give me Patrick Mahomes because Patrick Mahomes can make every throw Tom Brady can make and ones that he can't.
Hey, I have a question. Did Tom Brady have as strong of weapons around him as Patrick Mahomes?
Now it's about weapons.
This year,
I'm just wondering.
This year,
well, am I changing the argument?
Sure.
But I'm just saying.
No,
did Tom Brady have that type of?
This year and last year for sure. And now, for your argument, when Tom Brady finally got an elite receiver in Randy Moss, that was the first year he did put up sort of Patrick Mahomes' numbers. But when he got to the Super Bowl,
they lost to the Giants.
They were shut
down. Lost.
Right. Your Giants.
Oh, you're going to remember the 1 year. Yeah.
So in other words, the Giants is your favorite team.
I just think
That's what you rave about.
Molly,
He beat
Molly,
your Giants.
You already forgot about
Can I ask you a question, Molly? Molly, is Gronk any good? Was Gronk any good as a player? Was he any good?
Of course.
But you make it seem like he.
But there was a lot of time it was kind of like no-name receivers and a makeshift offensive line, and he still got it done. And you know I'm right, Shannon Sharp.
Hold on.